Alright, hello everyone, I'm teacher EJ. Welcome to day 3 of Daily Check-in. Today, we are going to learn percentage problem and I'm going to show you an adapted past year question for AMOS 2013. Alright now, a watermelon with 92% of its weight being water was left to stand in the sun. Some of the water evaporated, so that now only 91% of its weight is water. The weight of watermelon is now 4,000 grams. What was the weight of the watermelon in grams before the water evaporated? So this question involves percentage. But do you know what is percentage? So in our daily life, the most common percentage that we can see is when something is on sale. Let me give you an example here, okay? So there is a chair on sale for 30% discount. The original price of the chair is $100 and the discounted price is $70. So now guys, how much money do you save for buying the chair? It is $30. So what does this $30 mean? So it is $30 out of the total of $100. So we can write it as 30 over 100. And you will find that it is also equal to the 30%. So guys, do you know what is percentage now? So it is a type of fraction with the denominator which is 100. So when you encounter any percentage, you can try to convert it into a fraction. Let's say 25%. It will be equal to what fraction? Yes, 25 over 100. How about 77%? It is equal to 77 over 100. Alright, now that you have understand what is a percentage, let me give you some more examples so that you can understand the application of percentage better, okay? Let's say there are 20 boys in a class and there are 80 students in total. How should we find the percentage of boys in a class? Since you already know that the total is 80 and the number of boys is 20, so we can write 20 over 80. So the 20 over 80 is also equal to 1 over 4. Since we are trying to find percentage, we must multiply by 100%. And we also need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 25 so that the denominator can be made 100 and we will get 25%. So we'll use the number of boys and the total student to find the percentage of boys. So the number of boys actually have a name here. Since it's a portion from the whole student, so we call it a part. And the total student is just simply total. When we have part and total, we can find a percentage. Alright, now that you have learned this simple example, let's look at another example here, okay? This time, we have the percentage of boys in the class, which is 30%. And there are 600 students in total. We want to find the number of boys in the class. How do we find it? Since we know that the percentage is also the fraction with denominator, which is 100. So the 30% means 30 over 100. So the 30 over here represents the boys unit, while the 100 here represents the total unit. To find what is 1 unit, since we already know that 600 is the total, and the total unit is 100. So we can just simply use 600 divided by 100, and we will get 6. So the number of boys is 30 units. So we can use 6 times 30, and the answer is 180. So for this example, we have the percentage and total. We use it to find the part. Okay, now let me give you one final example here, okay? There are 300 boys in the class, and the percentage of boys is 20%. How do we find the total number of students? Since we know that there are 20% of boys in the class, so this 20% can be written as 20 over 100. And again guys, what does this 20 represent? It is the boys unit. How about the 100? It is the total unit. So now, how do we find what is 1 unit? Yes, since we know that the number of boys is 300 and the boys unit is 20. So we can use 300 divided by 20, which is 15. So how many units is there for the total number of students? It is 100 units. So we can use 15 times 100 and we will get 1,500. So in this example, we use the parts and the percentage to find the total. But you have to remember that the percentage that we need here is the percentage of the corresponding part to find the total. Just like in this example, we have the number of boy. So what we need is the percentage of the boy to find the total. So based on what we learned in this actually example is that when we have any two from the parts, total and percentage, we can find out the missing one. This concept is what we call no two get one. Alright, now that you have learned the concept and the relationship, let's go back to our question, okay? Alright, since there's quite a lot of information from our question, let's try to summarize them, okay? We have two situations here, before evaporation and after evaporation. So, a watermelon with 92% of its weight being water was left to stand in the sun. So, before evaporation, the percentage of water is 92%. Next, some of the water evaporated. So now, only 91% of its weight is water. Alright, so we know that the percentage of water after the evaporation is 91%. The weight of watermelon is now 4,000 grams. This means that the weight of watermelon after the evaporation is 4,000 grams. What was the weight of watermelon in grams before the water evaporated? So we are finding the weight of watermelon before the evaporation. Alright, now that we have summarized all the information here, let me remove the question so that I have more space for the working step, okay? So now guys, we have two situations here. We have to look into which situation first. Which situation has more information here? We look into the after evaporation. So we have the percentage and total, so we can find the part, which is the weight of water. Now, the percentage of water is 91%. So what's a very important thing that we have to do here? We convert it into a fraction. So we can write it into the fraction of 91 over 100. So guys, what does this 91 represent? It is the water unit. How about the 100 guys? It is the total unit. So now to find what is 1 unit, we know that the total weight of the watermelon is 4,000 grams. So we can use 4,000 divided by 100, which is 40 grams. And since the water is 91 units, we can use 40 times 91, which is 3,640 grams. But guys, we still don't have any information for the situation before evaporation. Maybe you can find something that is constant for before and after the evaporation. What will it be, guys? It is the weight of the watermelon pulp, since the only weight that is changed here is the water. So we can just simply use 4,000 minus out the 3,640 and we will get 360 grams. Alright, now that we know that before the evaporation, the weight of watermelon pulp is 360 grams and the percentage of water is 92%. Can we find the weight of watermelon now? The answer is no, because the part that we need here, that we have here is the weight of watermelon pulp, which means that we will need the percentage of the watermelon pulp instead of the water. So how do we find the percentage of the watermelon pulp? We will use 1 minus 92%, which is 8%. So we can convert the 8% into what fraction, guys? So it is 8 over 100. So again, what does this 8 represent? It is the watermelon pulp unit. How about the 100? It represents the total unit. So to find what is 1 unit, we can use 360 divided by 8 and we will get 45 grams. So now, how do we find the weight of watermelon, guys? How many units of it? Yes, it is 100 units. So we can use 45 times 100 and the final answer is 4,500 grams. Okay. Now, let's summarize what we have learned in this question. So this question involves the percentage of water. So we call this kind of question a concentration problem. And since it is also involved evaporation of water, so the sub-question type is the evaporation problem. So to solve this kind of question, the very important thing that we have to find here is the constant value. After that, you can calculate the part, the total, and the percentage using the concept that we learned today, which is no two get one. So now you can try to do this practice question by applying what you have learned in this video, okay? Now, remember to scan this QR code to join our study group and to submit your daily check-in. I hope you enjoyed this video and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? See you in the next video. Bye bye.